Welcome to the Engineering, Emotions, and Energy Podcast, where you can relax, recharge, and reconnect. And now, your host, Justin Wink.
Today, I'm going to be talking about spring cleaning your life. Now, spring's on its way, and a lot of times people start thinking about, maybe let me go through some closets, let me go through some drawers, get rid of some things that maybe I haven't used in months, years, some of you maybe decades at this point. Today I'm going to talk about bringing even more happiness by expanding that cleaning beyond just physical belongings, but to include perhaps places, perhaps preoccupations such as your job or hobbies, and yes, even people. And the most important thing, I'm going to go over a few things to really drive home how you can expand your view and get even more happiness and joy out of your life. Is one thing is this doesn't have to be something that's just done once a year. This can be done immediately. As soon as you discover something is not really doing it for you. Recently, was out with a friend. We went to a Bobba place. And if you're not familiar with Bobba, because maybe you're not in California, or maybe you just haven't had it before, it's usually a cold beverage. Usually has a tea base with some cream, some flavor, but then it usually has these tapioca balls. And so it has like a larger straw, about the diameter of a dime, I would say. And it's, if you haven't had it before, even if you had, it's a really interesting sensation. It's an experience drinking one of these things, because you're drinking, like a straw, you're having the liquid go in, but then every now and then a tapioca ball gets into the straw and goes right up, and then you end up having this massive tapioca in your mouth. It's odd, it's interesting, it's fun. So went to this one boba shop. I really wasn't in the mood for boba, but I was in the mood for coffee, so I got this coffee beverage, and it was really, really complicated to order. I was like, wow, they must really be precise, because they were like, do you want this less sweet? And at first I was like, what's in this iced coffee? And he's like, well, it's coffee and cream. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll take it regular. And then he's like, well, do you want regular ice or less ice? And I was like, I'll do less ice. He's like, well, if it's less ice, then we just put in more cream. And I was like, well, I didn't really want more cream, because I really just wanted coffee. And I'm like, well, give me regular ice and then give me less sweet. I didn't know. I figured maybe less sweet means less cream. So I get my coffee back, and it was effectively, there was a little bit of coffee in my cream. It was about a 1/4 inch of what looked like coffee at the bottom. And then the rest was a cream or a milk of some kind. Still not entirely sure. I tasted it. It was passable, the coffee part. But I'm like, I don't know. Do I really want to drink a whole 16 ounces of cream effectively? And then I asked my friend, how's the drink you got? And she's like, it's really, really sweet. I don't know. This is not good. Oh, what did you get? She's like, I got a mango flavored boba. And so I go to give it a taste, and it's this thick, syrupy nastiness. And then one of the tapioca balls comes on up, and it's just been douched in this nasty sweetness. And I had to spit it out. I just couldn't. Luckily, it was outside. There was a planter nearby, so I'm like, that's not good. She tries mine. She's like, yeah, that's not good. It's like thinking the Marie Kondo saying, does it spark joy? This did not spark joy. This quite the opposite. This was sparking much, much displeasure. So upon realizing this was sparking displeasure and not joy, we decided, let's just toss these, because this is hurting us. This is not good. This is overly sugary, so it's hurting our health. Because have you ever considered how much it costs you to put garbage into your body, like excess sugar or something from a bad source that's effectively going to be like poison in your body? How much money, time, effort you're going to have to pay later? It's non-zero. So sometimes to throw something away that's going to be poisoning you is actually saving you a lot of time and money in the long run. And that's how I felt with this. So we toss these drinks, and then we look up because we're walking and there's another boba place. And this looks really busy and it looks really nice. And go in and they have different options. They have this matcha latte and I get that. And it was phenomenal. It was delicious. So in this instance, because recognized something's not bringing joy in my life and said immediately, no, thank you, don't want this. Then very soon after comes in the perfect, delightful beverage that sipped and enjoyed for basically a couple hours, took it to the pool. It's really enjoyable. And I just started thinking, like, what other aspects of my life am I maybe hanging on to something longer than I should? Am I maybe not letting go of it? So there's the opportunity. Because we are often wondering, like, when am I going to get what I really want in life? When am I going to get those belongings? Or when am I going to get the relationships? When am I going to get the job? When am I going to get the hobby that really sparks my joy, makes me feel passionate, gets me excited to wake up in the morning so I don't need to have like 18 cups of coffee? You know, it's one thing if you enjoy having coffee. I enjoy having coffee, but do you need it to get up and even do the most exciting parts of your day? If that's what you need to do the most exciting things, it's maybe time to let go of some things and allow some exciting things to come in. And I've been noticing past things where maybe I've been holding on. Maybe I've been thinking like, I need to do this right. I need to do this in a way that is going to please somebody. Because in the past, I would have sucked down that horrible, awful drink because I have had this belief that, well, you shouldn't waste something. You should get all of the value out of something before you get rid of it. I might have talked about this on the podcast before, maybe not, but I'd bought this new computer over a year ago and it started having all sorts of problems. I won't say what company it came from, but it was a hell computer. It was definitely a hell computer. And even talking to the tech representatives and things like that, they weren't even allowed to be human. It was a hell of an experience. So I don't know if there was going to be a commercial, there might've been a guy that would say like, dude, you're getting hell. And I was like, this is only a year old. Computers got to last at least 3 years. And it was just problem after problem after problem. And then at some point I'm like, stop, this is not sparking joy. So I decided I don't want this. I'm going to get something else. And I decided on a fruit computer. And it's been a very delicious, tasty experience ever since. Like pretty much no issues. Things have been really smooth going with the fruit and it's felt good. And lately, one of the big things that's been come up for me is I need to find a new place to live. It's been like, well, where do I want to live? You know, I've been in Redwood City and it's been good. And I'm just like, I want to be near the water, but being near the water it's challenging, it's expensive. And it's one of those things where I started thinking, I got to be logical about this because my engineering background, you know, it should be low cost, should be well within my budget. It should, have these things and it should be this new and it should impress other people. For some reason, I got to impress other people. But it's like I go to the ocean and I'm like, oh, I just feel so good. And then I talk to other friends and they're like, it seems like you really are happy when you talk about going to the ocean and living there and just get this good feeling. I finally found a place, but I'm like, it's effectively like a trailer park. They call them seaside cottages and tiny homes, but I know better. But I feel so good. I love it. I'm happy. So I'm going to go with how I feel and also use the reflection of my good friends. And I'm putting a deposit down later today so that I can have one of these units. And they're great. There's not a lot of space that needs to be heated or cooled. I can see the ocean from one of the rooms. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's fantastic. It's exactly what I need. Nothing more. Has a lot of what I want. And I don't care if it impresses people, doesn't impress people. It impresses me. It sparks joy. And once I realize that and sort of let go of the aspects that don't spark joy, which is all of these sort of surfacey things, and I start noticing how do I feel when I'm maybe somewhere at a different location or a different type of environment, it's not feeling good. It's not feeling good. And if I talk about it, I just start getting kind of angry and a good friend can reflect on it. it can be really, really hard sometimes for us to actually notice, are we in the mode of feeling joy from the things we have in our life? Or are these things actually a drag? Are they pulling us down? Is it making life more challenging, more difficult? Is it less fun? And so this is where it can be really helpful to have a friend or a coach, not the type of friend that's just there to make you feel good, but the kind of friend that actually gives a shit about how your life is going and is going to maybe point out and reflect back like, hey, this might not be good for you. Like, are you sure? Because this other thing sounds really good. And I've been bringing more of these friends into my life, which brings me to the other set of life housekeeping that is really, really important. It's probably the most important, actually, but it's the most challenging, and that is the cleaning out of our relationships. And not saying, hey, treat people like trash. No, I'm saying treat people like amazing, beautiful people that you treasure and love. And that includes yourself as well. Because often it's a lot easier if we think of another person. So this is where it can be really helpful to sort of take an outside observer aspect of our own lives. And if we just really take some relationships and look at them, and I've had to do this with family, with relationships. I do this with my sister, who I haven't talked to for many, many, many years, because objectively, it's like this person blames, this person has expectations, this person does not value Justin. See, I'm doing third person, so I know I'm sounding like Kanye. I know I'm sounding a little crazy, but sometimes to get sane, we have to get a little crazy first. And then Justin ends up being really stressed when he thinks about his sister. Justin gets really frustrated. And Justin sometimes says very mean things back because he feels really hurt when interacting. Justin doesn't like to feel hurt. Justin doesn't like to hurt other people. Because I love Justin. He's a really cool guy. And his sister, she's good too. Just she's got some things going on that is different than what Justin's going on. Maybe they just should not spend time together. Maybe things will change and they'll be able to spend some time together. And that's for the best. So perhaps this relationship needs a little cleaning out, a little space. Perhaps this relationship doesn't need to be, in the living room, and maybe see if it fits. But if it's not, hey, that's okay. Let's put that on a shelf. Let's not really interact with that. And is it easy? No. Yet is my life so much better and filled with so much joy because of that? Yes. Yes, it is. It is so much better. So I encourage you to really take a look and find a good friend or a trusted advisor. This is where it can be really good to, have a therapist, have a coach, somebody that really has no stake in the game. They're just there to support you, love you, and root for your growth and give you that objective feedback that, boy, it sure sounds like whenever you talk to this person or think about this person, you just seem less happy. You do not seem to be enjoying your life much at all. And then they can also reflect back maybe when there is somebody great in your life and you're not really noticing it, because I've definitely had these situations in my life where I've judged and thought, well, this person, like they're not, similar. They're not from the same place as me. There's just some things that I'm like, this person, I could not be friends with this person, or that I could not work with this person. And yet I learned so much. I have a good time. And someone else like that, this person seems like they're great for you. Like you should probably spend more time with them. And then I do, and all sorts of beautiful things start happening. So life should be about cultivating more and more joy and love. That's what I want. And I believe if you're listening to this, you would like to have that too. You might have some things coming up where you're just like, that can't be true. That can't be possible. Life's got to be a grind. Life's got to be a hard work. You got to have obligation and duty. And you can't just let go of some things, especially if you haven't gotten all the value of it. What if, though, it really is about making decisions? What if everything is choice, and that when you're choosing to continue putting your energy into something that you know deep in your heart is making you miserable, is not lighting you up, is not giving you that satisfaction, but that when you keep choosing that day in, day out, you just get more of the same. And that as soon as you say, no, thank you, that's not for me, I don't want that, you then have the opportunity to experience things that light you up, that give you joy, that just make your heart swell with excitement. Because mind, logic, beautiful, fantastic, does a lot of great things. It doesn't do everything. Because you can force your way to make something work. You can get your spreadsheet out. I've got a lot of spreadsheets. You can still use your spreadsheet. It can be a very helpful tool in a lot of things. Yet, if it's not coupled with what your heart wants, with what lights you up, it's going to take so much effort. It's going to be so much harder, and it's going to hurt. And you might not even get what you want. You'll just get the pain, the heartache, the sorrow of forcing that relationship, forcing that job, forcing that place you're living, dragging around those shit items. When if you just say, I've had enough of this, I'm letting it go, it'll be fine. This object, this place, this other human, they're going to find what works best for them. It's a big universe with a lot of possibility, a lot of option, and I can find what works for me. That's when the magic happens. That's when it's not that things don't take any effort. It's what's that effort going to feel like? It's going to feel like a joy. Because another thing that I've been wanting to do is to expand my career, have something be more fulfilling, more enjoyable, bring in more income so that I have more options to have more fun in life and to have more impact and be able to help more people. And there's always the option of, in my tech career, putting focus on that. Yet there's also focusing on my coaching side business. And this is one area where other people have reflected back, and I can feel it, that when I'm talking about my coaching business, working on it, and actually working with people, because I've been working with people now, and it's just been so energizing, so much fun. I get excited, like, oh man, I can't wait to share this with them, and oh, I'm so glad that they're making this step, and I'm so happy that they're sharing this, and that we get to have this beautiful, beautiful journey together. I get lit up. I get excited. It's so much fun. It's fantastic. So that's where I'm putting my energy. And is this working on a coaching business easy? No, it's very nerve-wracking. There's a whole lot of new stuff I got to do. So there's a lot of stuff I'm really sucking at. Yet, because that's what my heart wants, and I have my fantastic mind to help me along the way, we're a great partnership going together. We're in lockstep. And so the struggles, the challenges, they become much easier to overcome. Whereas if I'm only following my mind and my heart's not in it, it's like my mind has to drag the heart. It's extra weight. It's extra heaviness. And so when there is a challenge, it's just like, I got to do that. So spring cleaning, does it spark joy? If it doesn't spark joy, how can you let it go? Doesn't matter if it's that old coat in the closet, or if it's maybe that job you've been at for 10, 15, 20 years, or maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's somebody that's been a friend, but really, if you take the outside observer perspective, are they really a friend? The way they treat you, is that how you would treat them? If not, maybe it's time to allow that relationship to transition. Not that you have to tell them that there's anything wrong with them. There's not. It's just not the relationship type for you at this time, and that's okay. Allow these things to exit so that as beautiful, beautiful spring comes in, new, amazing opportunities can grow, can bloom, and you can just enjoy the beauty and the love that this fantastic world has to offer when we just decide, I'm going to choose that. I'm going to choose the best that there is for me, because you deserve it. I know you do. That's why you're here, because you know a part of you is ready to wake up and enjoy this fantastic, beautiful blue ball of spinning mud out in the middle of this great, 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 wonderful universe we got. So much sun, so much love. So with that, thank you and good day. If you want to contact the show, email me at podcast@justinwink.com. That's Justin, WENCK. And find me on social media, Justin Wink, Ph.D. on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. And if you want ways so that you can relax, recharge, and reconnect, find the Tuesday 20 every Tuesday at 12:05 p.m. Pacific. It's only 20 minutes, and it's going to get you relaxed, recharged, and reconnected. It's on YouTube, and it's on Facebook. So looking forward to seeing you there.